Hey, I'm Jeff, the bearded homeschool mom. Holidays are over now. It's a new year. I'm sure my captive audience has been waiting for this video. I've taken a couple weeks off. So I'm sure all three of you will be pleased that I'm now back at it. And I'm going to start a little series of videos, I think. Today's just going to be an introduction. I'm not going to get into specifics, but we're going to be talking a little bit about disaster preparedness. Now, when you hear disaster preparedness, you may automatically think about preppers, some crazy old guy with a beard. I'm not really a prepper. I don't consider myself to be one, but I do like to be ready for things. I can think of a couple instances, like a couple of years ago when we heard about this COVID thing, and everybody was scrambling to get things. N95 masks before half the population knew what an N95 mask was. I remember I was just sitting in my bedroom and I just thought about, saw it on the news, so I reached to the top of my closet and grabbed a box of N95 masks because I'm that guy who had them in the top of the closet. Another example would be the run on the grocery stores of toilet paper. And everybody was talking about hoarding and people hoarding toilet paper. That's why the grocery stores were running out. And I guess if you call having a couple of 48 packs of toilet paper from Sam's Club already on hand hoarding, then I'm guilty, I guess, of being one of those hoarders. I just already had the toilet paper. We didn't run out. Nobody in this house walked around smelling like a goat. No offense to goats. So I'm not just talking about beans, bullets, and band-aids. Yes, those things are important, but there are a lot of other things to consider. Food. Do you have enough food so that if the grocery store shelves are running low, you can just open the pantry, and while you may not be able to make the gourmet meal, your family will survive. You'll have everything you need to feed them until hopefully the grocery stores get restocked again. There are other things. Water is very important. What is your source of water? Do you have any backup sources of water? If you're lucky enough to have a well, we don't have one yet. I hope to have one in the future. You need to consider other options, maybe some water storage. There are a lot of options as far as water storage. These little guys here, 7-gallon water container, picked it up at Walmart for $15. It's not a bad idea just to have a few of those on hand for substantially small investment. You can have several days worth of water just in case of an emergency. Anything can happen. It doesn't have to be the end of the world scenario for people to be without water for a few days. You see it all the time with the storms on the coast. So there are a lot of things to consider besides beans, bullets, and band-aids. And talking about food, there are other considerations besides having a pantry full of food. What happens if that runs out? Do you have the capability of making your own food? And I don't mean going out and killing an animal and skinning it, unless it's hunting season, of course, then by all means. But simple things like making bread. Can you make your own bread? That's another video I'll probably do in the future. I do make our own bread. I make sourdough bread. It's fairly simple. There are very quick and easy ways to do it. There are other ways to do it that are time consuming and more involved. I'll probably show you both ways or several different ways. Canning is another option. I also can some food. I don't can a lot of food, but I just like to know how to do it. So every season I'll plant a little garden and can some pickles and some relishes and make some jellies, things like that. Matter of fact, I have this one here. This is a pepper jelly I made back in August of 2017. Now, they say that canned food only has a shelf life of a year, and it should be consumed, within 2 years' time. So I officially say go with that. 2017 is on the lid of this jar. I think I'll make a video in the future where I'll open this jar and eat some of the jelly. Not going to recommend you do it, but I think, why not? Why not do a challenge? And there are several companies out there who make emergency rations that you can purchase that have a shelf life of like 25 years. It's somewhat expensive, but it's still a good thing to have on hand. I purchased some a long time ago before any of this happened with COVID, and I checked the price on the same, whatever the amount of time it was, whether it was a 3-week rations or 3-month rations, I'm not exactly sure, but the price was substantially higher now. it was like $300 higher. I think it was maybe a month's supply of rations for the whole family. So that's another point in all this stuff regarding beans, bullets, and band-aids. To have this stuff on hand, do it, treat it like stocks. Buy the dips. Try to buy the stuff when the price is down, because if you wait until the world's falling apart, or at least until it seems it's falling apart, and people start to panic, well, those prices go up a lot. So by all means, if you don't have the stuff, get what you can on your budget. It can get expensive, but think about what you're investing in. Hopefully you never have to use a lot of this stuff, but it's kind of like having a four-wheel drive. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So try to buy the stuff when you can. The earlier the better, because if you wait, it's either not going to be available or it's going to be prohibitively expensive. So again, this is just an introduction video. I'm not really going to go into specifics on things yet. I will make some videos. Probably I will do sourdough bread first. It's fairly simple. I'll probably do a video showing you how to make sourdough first with a starter. You cannot make bread without some sort of yeast. I don't use any of the packaged instant yeast. So I'll show you that. It's real easy. It has 2 ingredients. And then I'll probably do a couple videos on different techniques for making bread. I'm sure I'll do some videos later on, late summer probably, on canning foods, because we have to have the vegetables to can first, and it's just January right now, so haven't even started on the garden. If you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions on things you'd like to see some videos on, if I have some expertise on it, I will just leave in the comments. I'll do a video on it. If I don't know much about it, I'll research it and pretend like I know all about it. In the meantime, if you need some ideas on some of this stuff, if you are thinking that you really want to get your family prepared or get your household prepared, and you want to come up with some ideas, I suggest maybe reading some of those survival novels or doomsday novels. They're somewhat corny sometimes, but you come up with all kinds of neat ideas in there and think, oh, I've never considered that. That would be neat to have around. It might come in handy one day. Hopefully not, but you never know. All right. Bye.